LongHaul Larry and Big Blue. We're down here in my workshop. We stopped here. We're here for the night and stuff, and I'm going to give me a few tasks done. One of the things is my oil pressure. A few days ago, was it Tuesday? Started having issues with my oil pressure. As soon as I hit the Texas line, the Oklahoma-Texas state line, I lost oil pressure. I pulled over right away, checked everything, no oil leaks, had oil, everything fine. Fired up the engine, sat there listening to it and everything, and it seemed to work fine. And when I turned on the key, all my gauges, they all cycle. But my oil pressure one wouldn't. It wouldn't move at all. It didn't budge. So it kind of told me it was something to do with probably wiring or the gauge or a sensor or something. I sat there and let it run for a while. Everything seemed fine. Seemed like oil pressure was fine. There was no knocking or nothing. I ended up calling the boss, and I thought, okay, it's his truck. I'm going to leave this up to him. I felt comfortable. It kept going. But I let him know about it, and he looked it up on the codes and everything that the truck was putting off. And it said it was probably a sensor. And that was, when you looked online at the code, it came up to replace sensor. So that's what we did. Is he said, keep on going. Let's, get in there, get a sensor and everything. And I was going to be doing it. And I did pick up the sensor. Right here it is. It is a Cummins part number 4921517. And it's just a basic little sensor. Has a little O-ring on there. And just a plug. And I messed around with it. And if I would wiggle the wires, if I sit there and wiggle the wires right at the junction plug, then all of a sudden once in a while I would get oil pressure. It would work. So I knew it was something right there at the plug and everything. Needed to change it. The only problem is that it takes a really big socket. It takes a 1 1/16 deep well socket, or this fits it perfectly. I got this out of my toolbox by mistake, and this is a 27 millimeter. And it fits it perfectly. But it's got to be a deep well so that it can fit over top of that plug and everything. So really not a lot of tools involved with this. Really not that difficult. Basically, a 27 millimeter or 1 1/16 deep well socket. A universal, I don't really think this is going to be necessary on this model here because I think it's a little bit different. I actually looked on YouTube and I was looking up for changing for videos on changing this oil pressure sensor, and there is none for this engine. There's a bunch of for Cummins ISX engines, and they all talk about it. Oh, it's right here behind the fuel filter, and and they show it and everything, and you got to have this universal to get at an angle behind it, and blah blah blah, and all this stuff. And I'm looking at mine, and I'm going, it's not there. There's a computer there, and I have an ISX15, and I'll show that to you. 3, 2, 1. So right there you can see it. It is a model ISX15. Now there's a whole bunch of these videos. I think there was like 4 videos or so showing how to change the oil pressure sensor and everything in an ISX, but not in an ISX15. And what they were showing is that it's right behind this filter here. It's right back here. But if you look, that's actually where the computer box is. It's mounted on there. It's not there. Now there is this little sensor here. I don't know what sensor that is, but there is that little sensor there, but it's not the same size. So it's not that one. So I started doing some looking around and everything, and I found it. And I thought I should show you guys where it is. So you can see right here the filter is. That's where your fuel filter is. The guys are saying online that it's right behind there, but it's not. You got your starter right below here. It is where your computer system is and everything, your computer box. It's actually this plug right here. There is a small little plug back there. It has a little, it's really goofy because it's got a little clip that goes in there that holds it in. Goes in sideways. You got to pull that out, and they got it angled so that it's tight up against there. So it's a little bit of a booger to get that out. But then once you get that out, you can just wiggle that wire harness off of there, and there it is. And I can tell you that this is the problem, and I'll show you why. So if you can see it there, it's all full of oil. My connector is all full of oil. I actually pulled that off of there, and it's actually, the inside of that is full of oil. So the oil sensor must be leaking on the inside, and it's putting oil in there, and it's not letting the wiring do its job. So what we're going to do is I'm going to clean this plug out with some electrical cleaner. Then I'm going to put some electrical gel in there to help that out and everything. I'm going to pull this plug out, real simple, just stick a socket on there, unscrew it, put the new one in there, put it all back together, and see if that gets us our oil pressure. So it shouldn't be that tight in there. Nope, not at all. Because it's got a rubber gasket that holds it, so it doesn't have to be really cranked in there tight. And there it is. But yeah, it's just full of oil on the inside there. So it must it's leaking oil, and there's no oil on the outside of it. That's just from me touching it. But it must be leaking on the inside there. So we'll change it out. So it's just simply just cleaning up, clean the block up a little bit. Screw the new one in there. And you don't need to crank on this. And there we go. Now you got the new one installed. And then, like I said, I'm going to get go grab some electrical cleaner here, and I'm going to spray out these plugs, and then spray these plugs out, and then I'm going to spray the plugs out and put some electrical gel in there, and I'll put this all back together and see if it works. Well, there you go. Got the new plug all in there. Simple job. Nothing to it. Got it all in there connected up. And you guys see that I was actually at the past videos, I was actually in an alignment shop today, and you can see what they did here. They actually took my front axle off, and they actually they twisted it. It didn't have the axle wasn't bent right. And so they actually took it out. You can see the U-bolts, brand new U-bolts are on both sides and everything. They twisted it around, and they actually put a twist on the axle, on the front axle, and then put it back in there. And I think they changed the blocking down there too, so that it would ride better, because this tire over here was starting to cup a little bit, and this one's always been a problem. There we go. We got working oil pressure again. That's always a good thing, right? Right. So we're all good to go there, so that's cool. So pretty simple install. Just unscrew the one, unplug the wires, unscrew it, screw a new one in, plug it back in. Pretty simple. Don't even need that universal joint. Socket, straight extension, you can get right in there. So pretty easy. Pretty much you can think anybody can do that one. So there we go. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I hope that everyone out there is having themselves a great day, a great night when you're watching this here video. If you're not, you certainly get to change all that around, try it all over again tomorrow. I will catch you guys later. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and remember there's that bell down there on the right hand side. If you click on the bell, that gives you notification when I got new videos coming out. I'm gonna have me a bunch of videos coming up here, installing and fixing a few things coming up here. I got a bunch of little projects I got planned for Big Blue here, so if you want to get that stuff notified coming into your box there, in a YouTube box, and send you an email saying, hey, LongHaul Larry's got a new video. Don't forget the bell. I'll catch you guys later. See ya.